afternoon and welcome to Eye for Business with the Dunwoody Perimeter Chamber of Commerce. My name is Brent Morris. I'm an executive board member of the Dunwoody Perimeter Chamber. Today I've got Ravi Khan with Imagine Co-working. Ravi, thanks so much for joining us today. You're one of our first members to join.
I appreciate you hosting.
Absolutely. So I see you've got the great sign behind you too. I assume you're at your location today.
Yeah.
First of all, Ravi, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So I've been in the financial services space for the last 20 or so years, training hundreds of financial advisors over my career, and then the last 11 serving more as a family office for folks, for a little bit more everyday folks than the folks that would normally get access to that. And so I've spent decades now training people, managing teams, helping businesses grow and develop, and we ended up with some extra capacity in our office and decided that a co-working space that could serve needs of other businesses might be a good idea.
Oh, great. Wow, that very interesting. So I know we've got fall football coming online right now too. What's one of your favorite fall activities?
Yeah, I'll keep my football teams to myself until you come over here, and then we can talk football just for fear of ostracizing anybody and getting support on the other side of the fence. I will say I'm a transplant to Georgia now, 16 years in the making. So I've been here a while, but one of my first lessons to answer your question was I better pick a college football team that's local, whether it's good or bad. Just to have the banter is a necessary thing, because when I came here, that wasn't as big of a driver for me. So I've learned that college football is a very important part of the fall here. Other than that, I would say I love being outdoors with the family. We love going up to North Georgia, whether it's apple picking or hiking. That's a big part of fall. So yeah, that's probably the nice part. I like the cool weather coming too. Again, that's something I don't mind for sure when the cool breeze comes in and you get up in the morning and there's a few chills out there.
Yep. We're all looking forward to getting rid of the humidity. No doubt about that.
For sure.
So Imagine Co-working. Tell us a little bit about, I guess, the types of businesses and individuals that use your space, how that works, who you guys typically target, and maybe even where you're located.
Sure. So let's start. We're located probably in an area that most people are unfamiliar with, unless you've ultimately driven by or had a reason to come back here. We're the street that we're on is Perimeter Park Drive. Our exact location is 2342 Perimeter Park Drive, which is actually the side of the 2340 Perimeter Park Drive building. And where that ultimately is not far from North Peachtree. We're just off of North Peachtree and right near about a block down from Savoy Road. So many folks are familiar with the bowling alley in Mad Italian. We're only a few blocks from there. Where the animal hospital is, drive across the street. There's some brand new Taylor Morrison townhomes on our street. So we're definitely tucked back. I will tout that as a huge feature of our space, as we don't have a traffic or a parking problem here to get in and out of our building. We have probably excess parking for the number of people that would ever be here in a given day. So if you're looking for a co-working space where you don't have to pay for parking, number one, or you don't have to fight for parking, number two, then we are probably somewhere you should definitely explore and come visit.
You guys have great access then to 285.
We are right off of the 285 exit. Absolutely.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
So easy in and out, easy from a parking standpoint, close proximity to Chambly or Dunwoody or Doraville or Alpharetta, really anywhere that you need to get to if you don't want to be in Midtown or Decatur or kind of on the outskirts of town. My understanding is there's only 4 or 5 co-working spaces in this general area. How Imagine came to be, frankly, was personally my office. So I mentioned I have a financial services company. I got tired of moving around Perimeter and watching rents double over the last 5 years. And every few years when we had to move or bite the bullet on a rent increase, that got old and we decided to buy a building. So buying the building, I didn't need all the capacity that we had. And it was just a simple decision of what do we do with this extra space? So we did a complete renovation and put in tearing out walls, new walls, glass door offices. We've got a small gym in our space. I thought of everything I ever wanted in my own private office, and we put it in a co-working space. So we have a small gym, we have a kegerator, we have a soft serve ice cream machine, we have bathrooms with showers. It's really for a very intimate space. We only are going to have a total of probably 35 members capacity in our co-working space. We have 8 private offices, 3 of which are already reserved, and people are moving in. We've only been open 60 days, so I feel like that's a pretty good start. But we don't have a tremendous amount of space. So what's appealing about this is if you're looking for something that's smaller, more intimate, maybe not as crowded as some of the other co-working spaces, we definitely feature that, but yet in a brand new renovated Class A look to the co-working space when you walk in the door, from the fluorescent lighting to the kitchen design to the lockable glass offices. I mean, it looks like an A-class building back in an offset, plenty of parking location.
Very nice. Now, and what would be your typical client? Who likes to use the co-working spaces and who doesn't know about co-working that they could probably benefit from?
Yeah, great question. So I think there's 2 themes I would throw out that co-working in general tends to work well for. So we have the 8 private offices I mentioned, people that either don't want to work from home, it's not realistic to work from home, or ultimately will see clients from time to time. We have 2 private conference rooms, one that's behind me here, and there's another one next to it. So the ability to have your own space, but also have access when clients want to come to the building, that you can use that. Who we have in the space now is definitely varied. We have from telecom to folks that do home health care to financial professionals, you name it, we have support of today. I would say the people who are going to fit well in our environment, which is part of what makes us unique, because co-working in general tends to be very similar in theme and design. I would say you have private space and then you have open space that people can come and use for the day, which we also have all of that. The amenities, I think, are somewhat standard. Hopefully our features are a little nicer than some other places. But what's really unique about this is my background has been helping businesses for the last 20 years grow, develop, make business decisions. And so one of the things that I look forward to doing with the people that want a space here and want to engage in that process would be to do monthly coaching as a group for anybody that wants to participate in that, to bring in other resources and partners that I've worked with in the past, whether it's business consultants, accounting, bookkeeping folks, or just giving general guidance for how they can grow and develop their business. To me, that's going to be the biggest difference. Is we hope people to develop and grow out of our co-working space by the resources that we can provide to help them during the time that they're here.
Nice. So you mentioned training and things like that. Tell me about maybe a size of a conference room or the capacity. If I were a coworker over there and needed to do some training for some people that might be underneath me, or if I wanted to bring in some clients, et cetera.
Great question. So I mentioned we have 2 conference rooms. Each can support, I would say, 4 to 6 people comfortably. They each have TVs and whiteboards. So if you need to give a presentation or link up, there's HDMI cords ready to go in the middle of the table for to run the TVs and presentations. We also have the ability to open a divider between both offices and then expand the conference room to seat probably 12 to 15 people. So if you did have a larger group and you needed a private space, then we can accommodate that also. We also have a lounge area when you walk into the space, and then some day desks we have the ability to move around. So depending on if you wanted to have something and it might be after hours and people could accommodate that, we can certainly open the space, whether you wanted to do a cocktail reception or whether you wanted to do something and just do a larger group. When we get back to a stage, I guess, where larger groups are more in vogue, then certainly we can do that. We have a really great U-shaped kitchen area. So again, we have the flexibility to have a lot of people here for any particular event or something that somebody wanted to host.
Nice. Well, I tell you, I absolutely love the fact of the location that you guys have and the fact that you've built it out to be a Class A office space, but to be able to access Dunwoody, Chamblee, Doraville all very easily, to be able to hop on 285 or hop off 285, and then also have the multitude of restaurants and things like that without having to deal with the traffic that might be associated with some of the the Ashford Dunwoody areas and things like that. You guys, I think you've got a gem going on there. How would people find out about your business and look into pricing and accommodations, et cetera?
Great question. So I think the website was up a minute ago, but we can put it back. So feel free to go to imaginecoworking.com. We've got a couple of great resources for now in terms of ways that you can explore the space. So there's a virtual tour you can do on the website. It gives you a 360-degree walkthrough of our space. It'll show you where the gym's located. It'll show you where the bathrooms are, conference rooms, the retro arcade that's in our space. So the day desks, the private offices. So I would encourage everybody to do that. If you'd like to schedule to come see the place, there's a means to do that on the website as well. We also, for now, I think this will be temporary, but we have the ability, you can come and rent either an office, a private office, or use the day desks in the open space for just a day or for a few days if you want to test the waters. We've actually had success in the last few days of having people that have gone to many co-working in the area trying to find the right one. And so they came in, checked us out for a day or two, and now some of them are renting offices. So that's been really encouraging. So definitely through the website, you can book space, you can tour space, you can also reserve if you'd like either a private office or a membership. I would say, given our space and our location, we have the flexibility to have a Class A space, but not at the price points that you might normally find. So you'll see that on average, our pricing will be about 20% less than what you might find at a lot of the other higher end or A-class spaces in the area. Again, yet without the fighting over parking that you might find at many of those locations. So our objective is to really keep it. It's only can host a small amount of people. We're looking for members that can come in and want to engage in more of that collaborative work environment. Come in when you want instead of going to the coffee shop. We have coffee. We have a keg here. You're welcome to come and enjoy and experience that instead of going to the local coffee shop. So come in and be a member. More importantly, what members are going to have access to is that collaborative environment working with other business owners, but also some of the marketing and the business development that we want to do with all members and making it available to those folks. So I'm excited to be able to provide that, even if you just have a lower end membership giving you access to the space. Certainly if you need a private locked office, then we have a few of those left, but I hope and expect those to go fairly quickly. So get in now while you can.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like Ravi's got one great exclusive club that's growing, and you can get on the ground floor level if you contact him now. So, Ravi, thank you so much. Again, my name is Brent Morris with the Dunwoody Perimeter Chamber. Ravi Khan of Imagine Co-working. Ravi, thank you for joining us on I for Business. We truly appreciate your attending today and telling us about your company. And thank you for being a member of the Dunwoody Perimeter Chamber of Commerce.
Thanks for everything you do.